you want to change your life for good, start paying attention to what makes you unhappy. We just got to Orlando Saturday. It's like 1:45, something like that. We actually were just in San Francisco, was just giving a keynote in San Francisco. Was there for a day. We did a bunch of listed episodes, a bunch of property tours, and then came back to New York City for a day, did our whole mastermind. We did the penthouse of Central Park Tower. That was totally insane. So this whole week has just been exhausting. I mean, great, awesome, right? But it's also just been exhausting at the same time. I was thinking about flying down here and like everyone who's now a part of the sales community, right? Like a lot of people get into it because it's a second career. I got into sales to set me free, right? Like I got into sales because it saved my life. Like I needed something. A 9-to-5 is comfort food. Right? Like comfort food, you kind of like look forward to having it. You're like, oh, that's gonna be great. And then you have it, and it's great while you're having it, but the minute you finish eating it, you regret it. When you were a little kid, you told yourself you weren't gonna have a 9-to-5. When you were a little kid, you told yourself that you were gonna work for yourself, you were gonna have your own company, that you were gonna follow your dreams. And then you didn't because the comfort food was there. It made you feel good, right? It released serotonin. It pumped you up, it got you excited. And then the years and years and years go by and you start to see the effect that 9-to-5 has on your brain, what it has on your family, what it has on your body. It's the same thing with comfort food. You start putting on weight, you start looking more tired, your skin gets shitty, you get the circles under your eyes, you're not happy. You don't lead forward with happiness. All day long, I think about two things. One, life is short. And I want to make the most use of every single day that I have. And two, I need to be happy. That's it, man. I need to be happy. I'm not gonna focus on money. I'm not gonna focus on work. I'm gonna do all those things, okay? I'm gonna be a good person, but I need to make sure that every single moment I wake up, every single moment I'm alive, I am completely happy. You know why you're not happy? That unsuccessful feeling that we all have, that unproductive feeling that we all have, that overwhelming feeling that we all have, we just can't take it. It's none of those. You're not happy because you're unfocused. It's not that you're overwhelmed. You're unhappy because you're unimproved. It's not that you're unproductive. Okay? You're unhappy because you don't have a plan. You don't have a plan that you can follow, that you can stick to, because we are all creatures of habit. All of us. It is in our nature. It is in our brains. It's what we've been born with. Because evolution has taught us that we don't remember pain, we only remember pleasure. If you remember what it actually felt like that time you broke your arm, and not just tried to remember, but actually felt, and you could just call on it and say, you'd never get back on that bike. You'd never get back on those skis. You'd never get in a car because holy shit, you could die. You'd never get out of bed. You would never go hunt to feed your family. You'd never be tired again. But we remember pleasure. We remember the good times. We don't remember the bad times. The bad times are right now. For a lot of us, a lot of people are going through some tough shit right now. And I believe so strongly that the answer isn't looking outside this window right here. The answer is the person in the mirror. The answer is the person that I can see in this reflection, in this lens right now. The answer is that person, because that person can control the work. I can't control the markets or the boss or interest rates, but I can control me. I can control what I do from 12 to 12, not 9 to 5. That's why I got into this business, and that's why I preach this business all day, every day, that sales saved my life. I think more and more as time goes on, I lean into pain. I lean into unhappiness, and I write it down. I know what's coming. I know what I'm not gonna like. I know what's gonna make me angry. I know what's gonna make me unhappy. Like, look at right now, the recession that we're in. We're already in it. It's just gonna get worse, maybe, but it's the most anticipated recession in the history of the world. So we know how to plan for it. The unhappiness, the pain, the unhappiness, the pain, the slower volume, the lower deals, the expense cuts, the layoffs, all that shit is not going to be a surprise. None of this is a surprise. This is all happening in real time, and we get to predict it. We know exactly what's coming. We knew exactly what was going to come a year ago too, and 2 years ago before that. We always know what the future is going to bring, except we ignore it because we focus on short-term satisfaction. This is an amazing time to set stakes in the ground for what you want to be 2 years from now. Who do you want to be 2 years from now? Where do you want to be in 24 months? What do you want to look like? How much do you want to weigh? What are you wearing? Are you still married? Are you dating someone new? Do you have kids? What do you drive? Are you in a different city? Are you in a different country? Are you on a different continent? What are you doing 2 years from today where you wake up and you say, oh, I am happy. I'm truly happy because I paid attention to what made me unhappy 2 years ago. Because I watched this weird YouTube video with that guy who does real estate. I don't even remember his name. I think it was Ryan Seacrest, and he told me to focus on what makes me unhappy. That guy with a young face but old man hair, he told me to focus on pain. You pay attention to it, you soak it in, and you use it as a roadmap to find true happiness. 2 years from now, you're going to be the person you never even thought you could be. You're going to be writing your own success stories. But we all ignore it, left and right, man. Every day, I look around at all these people in this room, and we all ignore it. We all ignore it because short-term pleasure is so much easier. It's so much better. Except we're all going to be 80 before we know it. Maybe you're 80 years old right now and you're watching this and you're like, yep, I told you. But for everybody else, you're going to be 80 before you know it. And you're going to look back at your past and there's nothing you can do about it.
And the author of Something Like Serhant can make money, energy, and speaking of energy, guys, get up on your feet. I want you to welcome to the stage, Mr. Serhant.
I want to build something that's real. And I want to build a brand. When people think luxury real estate, when they think the biggest luxury listings or buildings, I want them to think me. I want them to think Ryan Serhant. So I went and I pitched this thing. The developer comes into the room and these very, very stressful moments. My brand is me as a salesperson. No matter what I sell, no matter what listings I have, my brand is me. People work with me. They work with the people underneath me who represent me. People are freaking out, except for cash buyers, except for investors, except for anyone who's actually been through this before, who looks at this and says, oh, thank God. Fear? Recession? Finally! Because my prediction is that next year, and then probably 2024, are going to be a bit bloody. They're going to be tough. Arms are going to reset. Pricing is coming down. Buyers are going to be nervous. Yes, there's going to be opportunity, but none of this softness comes without a price, right? Things do not happen the way you think they're going to happen. Okay? We've been lied to. The system is wrong. Everything is different now. Life is different. Things do not happen the way you think they're going to happen. My guide to unhappiness is that I want to know when I'm unhappy. I want to know when I'm angry, when I'm sad, when I'm upset, so I can use that as fuel for the fire to be even happier the majority of the time. No one's happy 100% of the time, and I honestly don't believe that anyone's unhappy 100% of the time. But you want to find the appropriate weight and use those negative emotions to fuel the positive ones, so you don't even have to chase them. You don't have to go to everything that just spikes those serotonin levels to make you happy, to chase that satisfaction, because it's all short term anyway. It's all a drug anyway. You want to change your life for good? Start paying attention to what makes you unhappy. What makes you angry? Where can you start saying, no, I want to do this, this, this. I want to start doing what makes me happy, because now I know what makes me unhappy. You think the real estate market is shitty right now? You think interest rates are so high, everything's going to be tough, everything's going to be terrible? Pay attention to that, use that. What's the opportunity? There is so much opportunity right now. Crisis breeds opportunity. Unhappiness breeds happiness, because you can't change anything. So you should make that plan. You should book that flight. You should wake up earlier. You should go to the gym. You should put down that fucking thing that you shouldn't be eating right now. You should actually start taking care of yourself, because your boss is you in the future. Your boss is your brand. And if you don't think that way, then you're someone else's bitch.